look, this being Embiid's first look at the game, this is where he's going to have to understand and learn the coverage that Denver is playing against him. You don't know this just going into the game. You could assume, but you don't know, right? And so this is where he's going to be able to understand when's the double team coming. Double's coming off the dribble. Gets into this right here, and now on Jokic's part. So boom, now Embiid gets it back. Now it's time to really see what he's got. Settle down for a second, right? So boom, now he's getting to this attack, posting up. Another double team comes, KCP digging. And now it's just like he doesn't really know where to look and what reads to make because he doesn't know the coverage that he's going to get played with, right? So now he just ends up getting it back. Shot goes up. A little ugly to start, but like I said, you got to understand how they're guarding you for the first play. And so after seeing that possession by Embiid where he had to learn the defense that very first play, right, 2 minutes in, this is where you kind of begin to make that adjustment and where he's learning, right? He's catching, downhill dribble. Now he's getting straight into his attack. Double teams coming off the dribble, right? So quick move, boom, bump, step back. No hands are really any right there at this point. 7 foot, getting off the ground, fading to his left. He don't see nothing, right? So over the top, boom, bucket. Right here, right? Embiid on the handoff for Maxey. He gets his dribble. KCP's right there. The second he's begin to try to get into some sort of go move, KCP's going to double. So what does Embiid do, right? Give it up to Maxey, right? Boom, he ends up now setting this screen. Maxey, what does he do now? Give it back to Embiid. KCP is now on his left. That's extremely important, right? Because you understand that when Embiid gets into his attacks and his goals, he likes to take that dribble to his left, hang, hezzy, pull up. That's what he loves to do, right? And so with KCP being here, he can't do that if he wants to go to his left. That double's going to come immediately. They've been doubling as soon as he puts the ball on the floor. And so now, what are his options? Since he can't go left, right? He pump fakes on this first one. Oh, he could go right. But Embiid, he doesn't go right. I'm explaining exactly why he doesn't go right later on and why currently he's ineffective at going right. But at this point, right, he's not going to go right. He doesn't really got left. So pump fake, boom, he got here. 9 on shot clock. He's taking that shot instead. That's the best option that he has. Look, he mixed in those 2 last plays, right? So now he's in the catch and try to make a quick go move, but it doesn't go right. Loses his dribble, double teams right there. Right, so now he has to give it up, right? And so that quick attack, it was the same thing as that first play I just showed you a few moments ago. But now this second attack right here represents the second play, right? This mid-play adjustment, right? And understanding how he must attack, right? Catches and understand what he's going to do, right? Look, triple threat game. He don't dribble. That's the most important thing in this situation, right? Because they double on the dribble, right? Michael Porter Jr. is getting ready to go. He doesn't want to put the ball on the floor, do too much. So what does he do? Boom. Get that hand right there from Jokic away from that pocket, right? By changing the way he brings the ball up. And now at that point, might have hit it. Boom. Knocked it down. Handoff situation with Maxey. Live dribble. He keeps it, right? And by keeping it, remember when the double team is coming by Denver on the dribble, right? So now Embiid is going to get into the size up. And KCP goes to double, and he immediately picks up his dribble. So now he's really no longer a threat. Embiid's not the greatest person in these situations. So going forward, this cuts out the live dribble handoff keep for Embiid. You're not going to see that going forward at all because it's not going to work in his favor according to the way that he's getting guarded. Ultimately, though, he's still able to remain somewhat poised and get that ball out straight to Batum, and Batum with the bailout 3 from the corner. No ball dip, nothing. That's a bucket. That's tough. This is IQ, right? Look, Embiid points, right? What is he pointing? Tell him to do, right? Screen, right? Because understand what's going to happen, right? Harris, screen, switch with KCP. Now, if you've seen all those other plays, KCP was the one going to double Embiid and really rush him and give him problems. By having KCP make the switch on the Harris and him slipping, this takes KCP out the possibility of being able to go and double team, right? And so at this point, who's going to be the person who should double team? Michael Porter Jr., right? And then KCP, he's a weak side defender. He's a bottom defender, right? And so now when Embiid wants to go, KCP is still focused on what he's doing. And he understands that I'm still reading the help and not just AG because I can still get to where I want to. And at this point, boom, just dump down right there to Kelly Oubre for that too. Look at Embiid's part, right? Look, this Embiid tells him to leave. This is where Embiid fucked up, right? That's where he fucked up because now what's going to happen? He has an empty right side, right? And the only reason why Embiid's not as comfortable going right as he is left is because it eliminates his step back. That brings him to a base that's exactly how he shoots a regular jump shot. And when he decides to take a sidestep though, right? Look, when he takes sidesteps, his base is shifted as if he is a lefty. His base is slanted to the right instead of being able to be slanted to the left, because when he goes to take a step back going to his left, his base is already slightly tilted like a regular jump shot. And so when he goes up, he just has to go up and balance and fade. But on this side, right, what he has to do is he's gonna have to go up, rotate, and fade. That's a lot more work than just having to go up, fade, and control. Now Embiid shoots that, boom, break. Look, Pat Bev checks in, right? But maybe about 2 minutes left in this quarter, right? And this is vital right here. Understand how this rhythm is going to build up for these next few plays. Pat Bev catches, boom, attacks Jokic. Jokic can't do shit. Pat Bev, by the way, will really drop 40 on your dome, right? Don't play, right? Boom, float, give me that bucket. Notice his next possession now, right? Comes off the screen. Now he gets Jokic again. Now he's shifting back to the high school mindset, right? All right, let me see. Let me look off for a second. Boom, bring back, shot. Guess what? Where it's going? In the rim. Now understand this next possession, right? Y'all got to understand why it's so important for role players to play with the law of extreme confidence, so then you can be able to alleviate pressure, right? This is why it's so vital, because now when you get in a situation where your star player has to go and attack, and they get into this area where they usually get double teamed, Pat Bev's man is hugged up. Pat Bev's man is hugged up. He just hit a bucket, he hit a three, and now when Embiid going to work, he could go to work with no worry about anything in the world. He's just getting straight into that pull-up bucket. It's so important. Understand Jokic. He's running back on defense. Embiid gives it up. This is where Embiid now sees a gold mine. Why? Because Jokic is not set. So what's going to happen when he catches the ball and he picks up steam? Jokic is going to try to beat him to a spot where he just cannot beat him to. So he's going to make contact. Boom, foul. You cannot get mad at refs for calling these fouls when offensive players are just smarter than the defensive player. If you didn't want a foul, and if you want to be as smart as an offensive player, you'll just let them go and not even try to beat them to the spot, understanding what they're going to do. You play one step ahead like this shit is chess. But defensive players don't think that far ahead, right? And so how could you be so mad at an offensive player for doing this day in and day out, game in and game out, when defensive players also understand how they're going to get exploited? Now, look at Jokic, right? He's guarding the pick and roll, playing a drop. And now Embiid is rolling. And the only thing that's going to put Jokic out of position is that step right there. Now, why would you take a step uphill while the person you're guarding, the person who's rolling to the rim, is going downhill? If you allow yourself to become conscious of these little movements, as a defender, you'll be able to get some stops. And you'll be able to prevent these situations like this, where you have to step up, then you have to step back, and by stepping back, you're not set, and when contact occurs, they now call a foul, right? Jokic isn't guarding Embiid. That doesn't mean he can't get exploited, right? Because not guarding Embiid, you now have to make rotations. And with them size 20s on, good luck moving your feet, right? So now what's happening? Boom, they're playing cat and mouse, back and forth, right? And so now Jokic, close out. Jokic, boom, now he's going to double team. Pass it right back to Maxey, who's one pass away. Jokic can't move that quick. All because you're not guarding the ball doesn't mean you can't be exploited. Shot goes up, boom, bucket. This one makes Philly so difficult to guard because they'll get Embiid in the middle of the floor and put Maxey one pass away, right? And even in this game in its entirety, just understanding matchups, Jokic is not on Embiid, right? You got Jokic off the ball, but doesn't mean you can't get exploited, right? And so Maxey gives it right back to Embiid, and the person who has to constantly step over and make rotations is Jokic, right? And so what ends up happening on the second catch, this lane right here straight to this corner is available because AG is now shifted over underneath instead of taking away this lane on the double team, right? And so now, boom, lane's there. Jokic now has to make a closeout. You can still exploit a player if they're not guarding you and they're just guarding off the ball, if they're just slow-footed, right? And now understand this. This is the next go-round, right? This is how you play in layers and how you really become a player. Because last time Maxey gave the ball up to Embiid right here, what he ended up doing was leaving and about to go and set a down screen, right? But this time, what is he going to do? He's going to stay because he knows that double team is going to get sent. And by Maxey being one pass away from Embiid, that pass just gets thrown extremely quick, doesn't give time for the defense to rotate, and now he just has a spot-up shot. Now that's why his percentages are really through the roof. He gets so many clean looks just like that. He's one pass away from Embiid, so you send a double, pass going to Maxey, he's shooting that. Similar situation as it was before, right? Boom, Maxey gets to his right wing, gives it up to Embiid. But understand who's on his left side. Jokic. You not guarding me doesn't mean you can't get exploited, right? Boom, you want to use active hands, get a hand on that? All right, boom, nice. But as a shooter, it don't matter where I pick the ball up from. It could be from my ankles. It could be from my hip. It could be from goddamn 5 feet above me. I could jump, catch it, and get back down. A shooter gonna shoot. And so now Oubre shot right over the top of Jokic. And at that, he don't really know how to contest on the perimeter. This is a cross contest. Left hand to a lefty. Gotta go across your body. Not really able to get to that pocket and disturb it. A little tougher. Look at Embiid. Watch. Points to the right side. Tells Morris to go to the right side. That's where Embiid fucked up. Because understand what this is going to lead to, right? Once Embiid gets into this middle of the floor and gets this catch, Pat Bev cuts through. Understand how the rotations are going to occur. KCP close out to Oubre. And where did KCP come from? KCP came from Marcus Morris, who you told to get on this right side. But if you really want to exploit the situation in the matchups, and Jokic as an off-ball defender, you would have left Morris on this other side and then forced Jokic to make a closeout. But by bringing Morris through, Jokic don't got to make a closeout. KCP makes the closeout instead. So now you're not able to take advantage of what you have, right? You're not able to take advantage of your advantage, which is Jokic as a perimeter player making closeouts. So now Oubre try to get in here, try to go and cook, but guess what he cooked up? Burnt ramen noodles, right? This is a hidden skill of all scorers, right? When you're playing in these isolations and you're playing against a good defender, right? And your boom may get him out of position, and then when the defender on their part make a good play, hit the ball out, right? Their ability to maintain composure in those situations and then be able to leverage the fact that you thought you did some shit good, right? Because right here, right? Aaron Gordon hits the ball out of his hands. He's like, oh shit, I got the ball out. Let me keep going. He's a little too horny. So he reaches again. Embiid goes up and uses that shit against him. Boom, up, shot, bucket. That's the adjustment that Embiid made from earlier on, like he did in that first, right? Instead of having a live dribble, right? Get into that triple threat game. Pump fake, jab, drop that hand, because Jokic like to play with them hands. Pause, right? Boom, shot over the top. Keep it that simple, bro. Keep it that simple. Bucket. And now right here with Embiid, you saw that last play, right? Where he used Aaron Gordon's aggression and his idea of, oh, I got you against him. Notice how it's going to set up this play now, because he got a foul there, got AG 5 fouls. Now AG's playing with this gap right here, scared to do anything. He just want to throw a hand up. Embiid don't see that. Bucket. Another one.